Hey everyone, welcome to workshop 2 of the Cork Community Art Link Making Comics Spooky Halloween Special. I'm Podge.
And I'm Colin.
So in the first workshop, we developed an idea. So we came up with like a broad outline of an idea with goblins and a dragon for what the comic is going to be. So in this workshop, and vampire carrots. We might still work in the vampire carrots. We'll have to see how that one goes. Definitely goblins, definitely carrots. Sure, why not? So now what we're going to do, you're putting me off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how to turn that idea into a proper story. So there's a couple of steps in this. So we're going to pop over to show you on screen here how you'd kind of think about turning your idea into a full and proper story. So these are all the ideas we came up with, which yes, includes vampire carrots. Unfortunately, we decided to not go with the vampire carrots. We decided that little goblins would be a load of fun. They're more fun than giant goblins. So we were talking about the location being the Lido, which is home of Community Art Link. But Podge was then saying that the Lido used to be a cinema, so it'd be a lot of fun to have goblins going to the cinema. And they want to watch their spooky Halloween film. But the Dragon of Shandon, who is an actual dragon, is also in the cinema. And that's where our story comes in. You have the dragon who wants to watch his film, and the goblins, we decided, are just going to want to cause chaos and be goblins in the cinema. And the dragon's going to kind of get his revenge on the goblins by changing the film. And that's kind of that was the idea we had for our story. So we think that's definitely enough to get on with. So now we're just going to spend a few minutes talking about how to turn this kind of idea into a story that we know is going to fit on one page. Let's have a look at our next step. So the idea with telling a story, I think, is you need three things essentially. You need your characters. You need a sort of a conflict. What's the drama, the excitement? And then a beginning, a middle, and end of your story. So we know our first part, the characters. Who are they?
I know.
Yes, from the back, yes, Podge?
Goblins.
Fantastic. And our second character?
I think there was a dragon in there somewhere.
Gold star!
Wait, I win!
Great. Gold star for Podge, and of course for anyone else who got the answers correct. So our characters. Who are our characters? The goblins. They want to go to the cinema. They want to go watch a spooky film, but really, because they're goblins, they just want to cause chaos, and they're just going to be causing loads of chaos in the cinema. And then we decided that the dragon just wants to watch his movie in peace. Okay, so that's our two sets of characters, and that's what so we've filled out our story with characters. Next then is a conflict. So in every story, you kind of need conflict. You need one person trying to do something and another person coming up against them. Say, for example, if Spider-Man wanted to save the city, but Doc Ock decided to just take the day off or stay inside and have a cup of tea, then it wouldn't be a very good film because there's no kind of conflict or fighting or clash. So because we spent some time working on our characters, we actually already know what the conflict is. Any takers who knows what the conflict is, class? Yes?
Yeah, the dragon doesn't like the movie the goblins are watching?
He wants to watch the movie, but the goblins don't want to watch it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it could be either. Actually, yeah, it could be either. So basically, our conflict is the dragon and the goblins. They're not going to get along because they both want very different things. Goblins just want to cause chaos, throw their popcorn around, throw each other around, get their permanent markers and draw on the screen. The dragon wants some peace and quiet, wants to watch his film, wants to watch a different film. So we've actually set up our story. So next, beginning, middle, and end. So this is really easy for us because we spent time working on our characters and kind of planning out the story. This makes kind of figuring out how the story will look on the page really easy. Basically, the beginning of the story, the goblins turn up and go to the cinema. Then the goblins cause chaos and the dragon's furious, and this automatically leads to our ending, which is the dragon gets his revenge.
Ooh, that sounds ominous.
Spooky dragon revenge. So now, all that's left for us to do is, because it's a comic, we want to figure out how many pictures we're going to have on our page. Okay, so this is kind of the detailed part of the planning, where we just spend a minute writing down what we're going to put on the page. Okay, and then once we've got that figured out, then we can hand over to Podge and he can start making it really come to life. He can start designing the characters and actually drawing out the comic. And that's the really fun part, obviously. But it helps if you have a good plan in place. So this is what we figure for our comic, okay? So for the first panel, we're going to have the goblins buying tickets for the cinema, because this introduces us to the goblins, and it also introduces us to the fact that they're going to the cinema. So we're doing two things in one panel. And if you want to fit a comic in just one page, you really got to think like this. You can't, like, we could have the goblins walking down the street, a picture of the cinema, and then goblins buying the tickets and going into the cinema. Then you've used up 4 panels and you've used up most of your page and you haven't even started the story yet. So you got to be kind
of... That's just boring. You might as well just go to the cinema yourself at that point.
That's actually a really good point. You want to kind of have things be happening quickly and punchy, and like Podge said, it's kind of boring if you're just kind of having 1, 2, 3, 4 panels with nothing really happening. So we get to the action straight away. Goblins buying the tickets, and then Dragon trying to watch his film, and the goblins are causing chaos. So from the second panel onwards, the story is really funny and amusing.
Okay, that'll be fun and interesting to actually draw now.
And that's exactly.
You can have goblins on their phones going through their Twitter because there's because everyone's been to the cinema and they've always sit next to that guy who's on his bloody phone. Yeah. So we can have fun. We can have fun drawing now.
And that's exactly what you should be thinking about when you're making out your plan for the comic. Is how can I make it look fun? What can I draw? What can I put in it that's going to be fun or silly or action-packed or something like that? That's all you need to think about. How can you make your comic fun? So next then, the dragon's going to get into action. So the dragon is going to go outside and he's going to go into the projector room, which is where the film comes from in the cinema. And he's going to switch the film that's playing in the cinema. This is how he's kind of going to get his revenge on the goblins. And then we had a chat about this, and we figured what would an absolute nightmare be for a goblin, and we figured a cute Disney film. I think
a Teletubbies movie or something like that.
Something disgustingly cute, and the goblins are just going to hate that. And the final panel of our comic, goblins just run out screaming.
Oh, that'll be epic as well too. And that way we'll get the show outside of the cinema, because we didn't get the show yet.
Perfect. And that shows, I think that last panel is going to be so much fun. Just goblins, just the doors bursting open, goblins running left, right, and center, screaming. It's just going to be a really fun note to leave the comic on. And that's going to be perfect. And because it's a one-page comic, it's going to be really quick to, you saw the process to write it has been quick. Process to draw it is going to be pretty quick as well. You won't have to spend kind of, hours and hours and days drawing a full comic. If you just want to make a quick one-page comic, there you go. Okay. That's the full process. I think we've got a pretty good idea now what our one-page comic is going to look like. And we definitely know all 6 of the panels that are going to be involved. So now it's time to start looking at the art. So in the next workshop, Podge is very much going to take over and start looking at the art.
Right. So on the third workshop, we're not going to start working on the comic itself. We're going to start taking the ideas of the 2 main characters and design them out. We need to design our characters first before we go anywhere near any of the 6 panels involved. So if memory serves, our characters will involve goblins, a dragon, and I'm going to stick some vampire cards in there. Maybe not.
Definitely goblins and dragons.
I'm going to have the writer edit it out.
This is what an editor is for. Cutting vampire cards out of the page. Oh, maybe we'll fit in a vampire card. Sounds like fun.
So, we'll see you all in the next video.
Super. Thanks.